Hey everybody, it's Dave Dugdale, learningdslrvideo.com. This will be a quick review of the RPS Studio Cool-Lite 150C, which is a bicolor, or you can change it from tungsten and daylight LED. It's a hard light, and I'm softening it up with one of my soft boxes right now. And this will be a quick video because there's a big problem. I don't know if you can hear it, but listen. It's the fan noise. There's a lot of fan noise. So I just want really quick, this is all the way on the daylight setting, which looks really blue. I'm just looking at the softbox right here. It looks really blue, maybe a little green on it. So we're gonna try some different settings, and each time I will custom white balance it like I have right here. And just for kicks, I'm also going to take a look. I'm shooting this in 4K, so hopefully I can zoom in on this as well. All right, we've gone to the tungsten setting, I guess 3200. It actually has a nice repeatable dial in the back, which is nice. This light comes in around $500, which is, I think, a really good price if this would have no fan noise. And I was looking at the fan, it looks like it's a cheap computer fan, like they spent absolutely no money on the fan whatsoever, and they didn't care how loud it was. Like it was going to be used in photography only and no video. I don't get that. Why would they wouldn't have put just like 10 or 15 more dollars into a really good quiet fan to keep this the heatsink cool. So this is tungsten. Again, we'll take a look at the colors here. And next up, what we're going to do is I'm going to go between, right in the middle between tungsten and daylight. And that's got its most, I think all of the LEDs are on, so I'll have its highest output setting. And I'm gonna try not to adjust exposure, just so you can see how it bumps up. All right, and this is in the middle position, and it should look like I'm a bit overexposed perhaps. I just wanted to leave it here so you get an idea of it in the 12 o'clock middle position between daylight and tungsten, where all of the LEDs are on. And it looks pretty neutral, just looking at the softbox. So you guys know I've been looking for an LED, a hard light that I can modify with softboxes like this for a long time, to be able to use a key light on skin where it reproduces the colors very accurately. I looked at the Alzo, which it comes in a little over $300, very bright. I'll have to measure the brightness here in a second, but the Alzo just didn't look good on skin. Might be a great hair light or do some other things. It was a little bit noisy. The Westcott was less noisy, had the best skin tones, but it was really expensive, like over $1,000. So it'd be nice if they're light in the $500 range, like this one, that is bicolor, which is awesome because then you can go between tungsten and daylight quite easily just by rotating the switch, and it's very repeatable too. And it also has 10 steps in terms of how bright it gets, and those 10 steps are very discrete, so it's not like it's continuous. It's like you go to step 10, then it drops to 9, and then it drops to 8 kind of thing. So all right, next up what I want to do is compare it to my fluorescent that I have here. So I'm going to go back to daylight for a second, and then we're going to transfer over to my normal fluorescent to see the comparison. All right, now I'm using my ePhoto light that I've been using for years. It's a daylight balanced fluorescent fixture, same exact distance, it's 42 inches away. I'm not using any sort of precision instrument here. It's just my iPhone with this Lumidisc, or it's made by Luxy. Just relative measurements, not absolute, but so we just have a comparison between these two lights. So this one is, before I entered the frame and my shirt was, causing it to do other things. I had it actually right in the middle when I measured the two. The ePhoto is measuring at 2000 lux, pretty much exactly, at 42 inches away. And then with the dot line, which is actually the real name, I believe, instead of RPS Studio, it puts out, with all of the LEDs on, best case scenario, it's putting at 12,500 lux. Now, if you go to blue or daylight, it puts out 700 lux. And if you go to tungsten, it only puts out 550 lux. So if you compare the two, this one's a daylight at 2000 with this daylight at 700. There's a big difference in terms of the relative measurements. Again, these aren't absolute, not a professional lighting grip piece of equipment, just to get you an idea of what's going on. So now let's go ahead and switch back to the other light for my conclusion. All right, it's conclusion time. So I really like this light in terms of the quality of light. I like it better than my ePhoto fluorescent box. I like it better than the Westcott $1,000 LED light I looked at before. Also, I like it obviously better than the Alzo LED that I looked at before. This one comes around $500, like I said before, so it's kind of in the middle of those. But the light is really good. So what I brought in speed grade, took a look at it. The whites were dead on. The blacks were dead on. The grays had a slight blue push, but there was no green funkiness going on there, what you normally see with LEDs, where it really starts making you look pukish green and you've got a cold, or you're looking deathly ill or something like that. The color rendition of all the different colors look really good. So that's the good thing. The bad thing obviously is the fan. If you're a Dotline, RPS Studio, whatever the name of your company is, and you're watching this, can you put a different fan on this thing? Like a Noctua fan is famous for being super, super quiet computer fan, and that's what I think they got in here, is probably a $3 fan. Noctua fans I think are like 20, 25 bucks. Get something in there, and then don't put it at 1400 RPM. Bring it down to like 400 RPM. I guarantee you, thing's not putting out much heat. I put my cheek up to it to see how much hot air is coming out of the thing. It's not much at all. So if you're the manufacturer, I'm sure you're probably just covering yourself. You don't want returns, you don't want problems, but do some more testing, because it doesn't need to be this loud. You could put this thing at 400 RPM and it would be whisper quiet, and it would work really well in a video environment, which I think you're designing this for. Because I don't think you're selling this to photographers, because they would probably just use small flash or strobes. So, and then the other thing is light output. 2000 lux on my eStudio versus 1250 best case, which actually I'm using right now. I put it right in the middle in custom white balance, and it seems to be working pretty well. So if you're looking for the max amount of output, you could put it in the middle in an environment like this. And the reason I'm doing it in here is mostly looking at skin, because I could be doing it with a white background, for instance, but then the white would wrap around me, cause lens flares. This really is the best situation with the black background to see color saturation. I could put you in other situations like in my office, but I like to do it here first to see how it looks in terms of color. So fan noise is a bummer. Light output is kind of a bummer, but man, the quality of light is definitely there. Price is pretty decent when you especially compare it to the Westcott $1,000 LED light. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully maybe they can fix this, or I will keep searching for other ones. So if you're interested in this one, it's located on a B&H. I will put the link below. It's a decent light if you wanted to get in there and put your own fan into it and knock down that RPM down about 400. You'll probably have a pretty sweet light.